Welcome to the Broadband Catalyst Video Help Series. In this video, we will be using the Add Lines feature to create and calculate fiber routes. If you would like step-by-step slides, they are located at the end of this video. There are also instructions in the description. In today's video, we're going to be creating a line feature in QGIS in our project that we can use to measure the length of a route. For example, if you wanted to measure the length of fiber that you needed to drop in order to connect a structure. So to start, we have our project open. If I actually zoom out, you will see this is the same project I used in the Creating Polygons video. I'm going to turn that back off. And I am going to pretend that Club Wyndham over here needs a fiber drop. They need internet access and they don't have it. So we are going to calculate how much fiber is needed to reach the building. And we're going to do this using QGIS. So I have my project open and I have my OSM base map here. If you don't have this layer, in order to get it, you will go up to your menu, go to the web option, choose Quick Map Services, and go down to OSM Standard. Okay, that will add that layer for you so that you can see a basic map to help guide you. Alright, to create our lines so that we can measure distance, we are going to add a new layer. So up in our menu, we're going to go to the layer option and we're going to choose Create Layer, New GeoPackage Layer. This brings up some options. We are going to give this a name. Go to these three dots to the right. This is Browse. I'm going to save where my table is. I'm going to choose where my table is saved. So the best place to put this is in the same folder with your project. And I'm just going to call this Creating Fiber Routes. And I'm going to push Save. That should auto-populate a table name for you. And we are going to choose the geometry type line string. Okay, in your CRS option here, if you open that drop down, there's several options for you, but you want to choose the one that says Project CRS. At this time, we are not naming a neighborhood or anything like that, so I'm just going to leave the fields as what they are. And I'm going to come down and push OK. On the left over here, you can see I now have a new layer that says Creating Fiber Routes. If I was to open the attribute table by right-clicking and going to Open Attribute Table, there's nothing in there right now. So let's change that. Across the toolbar on the top, you have a yellow pencil. It's labeled as Toggle Editing, so we're going to turn editing on. And you can see that opened up some new options when we turn that on. And the one that we want to use is called Add Line Feature. And what this does is now I'm going to be able to draw lines on my map. I'm going to start by drawing a line on Buffalo Creek Road here. This would be considered the backbone of your fiber because the main carrying part of the fiber infrastructure follows the telephone poles usually, which usually follow the road. Once I have set my points by left clicking in the different areas, I'm going to right click. It's going to ask if I want to auto generate. I'm going to push OK. And you can see I now have a line here that follows the main road. I want that to be easier to see. So I'm going to right click on my layer. And I'm going to go down to Properties. I'm going to go to my symbology options. And here in the project styles. There are several different like presets that you can choose from. And I want to be able to see this really easily, so I'm going to choose this Topo Main Road option. And I'm going to push apply and push OK. And so now you can see that it's very visible. But let's say we wanted to connect Club Wyndham here. So I'm going to make sure that I click on the line here. I just left clicked where they intersect, and I clicked again and again and again. So I'm clicking at these different places just to kind of change the angle to follow the turns of the road. And then I'm going to connect it to the structure. Once I have all my points, I'm going to right click. It's going to save it. And now I have another line. And this would be the drop. This is the distance between the main road and the structure that you want to connect. Okay, this is a good place for me to go ahead, and I'm going to turn off my editing of my layer. So I'm going to click that pencil again and I push save, and I'm actually going to save my project. So now if I open my attribute table, all I have is a list of 2 features. I need to add a field that has the length of these lines. So I'm going to right click on creating fiber routes and go to my properties again. This time I'm going to go to the fields options. I'm going to turn editing on, and I am going to use a new field. So I'm going to use this abacus, this field calculator option. I have create new field checked. We're going to call this length, maybe length M. So length is by default measured in meters. So that's a good reminder for what we're working in. And we're going to choose decimal number as the field type. Here in the expression box, I'm going to type a $sign and then the word length. And this should return for us the length of these individual features. That's really all we need. We're going to push OK. We're going to push apply. We're going to push OK. Then we're going to click this pencil again to save our changes. And now when we look at our attribute table, we now have a length. Okay, the main road that I drew was 613 meters. The connection from the main road to the building was 117 meters. So this may be the information you need, but maybe you need to know what these features are added together. So we're going to do that now. All right, to combine these lengths, we are going to go to our vector menu. We're going to choose the geoprocessing tools, and we're going to choose a tool called Dissolve. Make sure here that you have the correct layer selected. I'm using the fiber routes layer. And we're also going to make sure that we save this layer by clicking on the 3 dots and pushing save to file. Again, I am in the same folder as my project and my other project files, and I'm just going to call this creating fiber routes dissolved. This tells me my input layer and what action I took on it. I'm going to push save. I'm going to push run. Execution completed. Complete down here. You can see now we have a layer called creating fiber routes dissolved, and we're going to need to add the length again. So we are going to go back into our properties. We're going to go back into our calculator here, but instead of creating a new field, We are going to choose this checkbox that says updating existing field. And we're going to choose the length field from the list. And we're going to type in that same expression again on $ length. Push OK. Push apply. Push OK. And we're going to take that out of editing mode and push save. So now if I open this attribute layer, which you can also do by pressing F6, I now have one attribute that is 730 meters long. If I wanted to go back and look at my attribute table, here, I'll open them side by side. I think I can do that. Okay, you can see that I have 613 and 117 added together. Those are 730. So now I have the combined length of the lines that I created. There are times that you may want to create a backbone separately from your drops. If that's the case, just create them on separate layers. If you wanted to, you could visualize this new layer similarly to the way that you symbolized the original. Now you can see kind of that they are the same. But yeah, so that's how you can use lines to measure distances for things like creating fiber routes or whatever else you might be needing to measure for. I hope you found this video helpful. If you still have questions, feel free to email us or check out the rest of our help playlists.